What's going on, everybody? Steve here with Raiken Profit.
What's
Welcome to
going on,
another.
guys? I thought you were just going to say Steve with Raiken Profit, man. It's the small intros, remember that?
Okay, cool. Yeah, but thanks for coming on, everybody. Welcome to the Green Room Show. We've got Jamison Philippi on our show tonight for a Green Room episode. He's actually at my house right now, upstairs. And yeah, let's do a little introduction. My name's Steve Raiken. I'm from Connecticut. Been reselling for about 3 years. Sell primarily on Amazon FBA, but also do eBay and Craigslist. I am one of the admins from the Green Room, and really excited for tonight's show. With that being said, I'm gonna pass it off to Chris.
What's up, guys? Bonafide Hustler here, otherwise known as Chris, also one of the admins of the Green Room. Welcome to show number 42, 100 Days on the Road with Jamison Philippi. What I do, I buy and resell stuff I find from garage sales, estate sales, yard sales, flea markets, pawn shops, swap meets, and I put it on places like eBay, Amazon, Craigslist, my antique booth, and consignment stores in town. I'll toss it over to Jamison.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Jamison Philippi, a.k.a. the Pop-Tart King here, hanging out in Raiken's upstairs bedroom.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, so Jamison actually is from Minnesota and made his way to Connecticut on his 100-day road trip. So we're definitely going to be talking about that and covering all the aspects that go into, going on a road trip and making money, which I've actually done before. I've done a 30-day one and I've done a 90-day one. So if you guys are interested in learning how to, make money while you're on the road, because I know a lot of you folks probably sell from home, maybe you have an office or something like that, definitely tune into this video. It's going to help you out a lot. But with that being said, I'm going to pass it over to Bonafide because he's going to be hosting our Green Room episode. So with that being said, Bonafide, take it over.
Okay, I just took it, man. Thanks a lot. That's a pretty strong throw you got there, Raiken, man. You must be working out.
Someone's got me on a nice 4-day training split, but I don't know who it is.
Man. You're about to go to 5 days training split next week anyway. So yeah, I'm the Bonafide Hustler. I'm going to run the show real quick. We're going to get into Jamison here in a second. We want to make sure that we sound really good, so it's really important. Do a sound check, and we count on you guys in the feed right now. Likely, if it's a Wednesday and it's 8 p.m. in Central Time, you are seeing this as a live show, and there is a feed that we are looking at all the time. So let's do a mic check. Raiken, you want to shout some people out in the feed real quick?
Yes, sir. Mic check, mic check. We got Pokey Paulie saying 9 dislikes already. Thumbs up, not thumbs down. So if you're watching right now, guys, and you enjoy watching these free Green Room episodes with million-dollar hustlers. No, I'm just kidding. But hustlers like Jamison, hit the like button, show some love. We also got good used goods in the house, so I'm assuming that they sell good used goods. I don't think they sell new in a box stuff. We also have Murray Zuckerman in the house. We've got Cherie, what's going on? We got California watching. Daniel, Justin, we got 2 first names watching. We got Picking for Resale, Scott Fitzgerald, The Real Iron, Dan, Aisha from the Green Room. We have a lot of people watching. I believe we are up to, I can't see, it was over 80 people watching. So for everyone watching right now, thank you so much for watching. We appreciate you guys checking in. And again, be sure to hit the like button. Also, we've got a free resource, 100 amazing items to resell. You can check that out in the description, which is a Green Room creation of 100 of some of the best items to buy and sell on Amazon, eBay, Craigslist, and the list goes on. So with that being said, you can see Bonafide's holding it up right now.
I am holding it up right there.
Let's dive into the meat and potatoes of the show. 117 people watching live right now. Let's get it stared, Bonafide. I'm tossing it back over.
I got it, man. Dude, you've been working out a lot, actually. That was an even harder throw than the first time.
Telling you, man.
Okay. So it's good to see everybody. Everyone's saying Pop-Tart this, Pop-Tart that. So I think it's really adequate to actually, there's a lot of people that probably don't know Jamison. So very quickly, Jamison, first of all, how do people connect with you? Because I know this is going to be a bang-up show, and people are going to want to talk to you behind the scenes and ask you questions and interact with you. What's the lead way to interact with you, Jamison?
Through Facebook, Periscope, Jamison Philippi. And then also I do have a YouTube channel that I'm working on right now, so also Jamison Philippi on YouTube as well.
How do they get you on Periscope? At Deals by, what is it, right?
Yeah, Deals by J. Deals with a Z.
With a Z. Deals by J. You guys got to check out that Periscope. It's really good. He's on there every single day. So, that's definitely one of the most live ways people can and people mess with you. I've seen your Periscopes are funny, man. People are always messing with you and catching you off guard, but that's what it's about, man. And you're on this really cool 100-day road trip, which we're going to get to in a second, which I think is fantastic, and it's going to lead you into Texas. I know you're in Connecticut right now with Raiken, but I think you're heading down to Texas in a month, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna New York is next, and then Cody from Australia is coming, and I'm picking him up in New York.
What?
And we're gonna road trip to Austin together.
Oh my gosh.
So
That's
that'll be
fun.
pretty fun.
You know, let me ask you this real quick. Without the green room, do you think you would have figured out Cody, or would you have figured out even meeting the guy? Do you think?
No, no, no. Yeah, it never would have happened without the green room. That's
Because
for
I
sure.
see you like hustling with a lot of members, and you're putting the pictures in the room, and you're going to everyone's hometown, and it's like there's always someone close to where you are, right?
Yeah, usually, yeah.
That's amazing, man. And it's funny because before you come into town, a lot of the members go, okay, the Hurricane Jameson's about to hit this town, and we're gonna get into why that's called a Hurricane Philippi. Because when you come through a town, usually there's like a wake of destruction, and no big box store is safe, no pawn store is safe, no thrift store is safe. So it's really I've hustled with you before, and you are no joke. You are the guy when the doors open that runs to the back of the store. He'll run. He will actually run and try to get all the good deals before you can even get there.
He's the one who got me motivated into Amazon when we all met up for the Green Room event a while back. I don't know if it was last year or the year before. They all kind of blend in. It's so much fun. But I remember him. I don't know if it was a pawn shop or if it was like a little mom and pop thrift store. But he was here. He was at this location negotiating, buying all these electronics, micro cassette players, CD players, and I'm like, this is amazing, man. And he really is a true hustler. So if you ever have the opportunity to go out and hustle with him, I mean, I'm here with my buddy Tim. Say what's up, Tim. He actually was with us just a little while ago at Target, and although he did get thrown out of Target, no, he didn't get thrown out, but he got declined. I mean, he had a cart full or a carriage full of items, and he's the real deal. So
Yeah, I saw that the title of that Periscope that you got declined at Target or something like
The
that.
bait,
So
the bait and switch.
I gotta look at that. Anyway, okay, so let's go into the very, very, very first part. There is an interview with Jamison earlier in Green Room history, like a year ago. So what's interesting is if you watch that interview and you see now Jamison, there's a lot of things that have happened in Jamison's FBA career, and we're gonna get to a lot of that stuff. So Jamison, you know, one of the very first questions is why FBA as opposed to eBay, as opposed to any of these other things or private label? Why did you pick FBA?
That just I like the growth potential in it, and I like being able to do it on the road wherever I want to go. So it just kind of just like flowed that way, and it's just like just fits my personality better as opposed to like private label and other sources of income.
Okay, I am going to jump into one premature question, which is, you know, that now that you're on the road, I mean, maybe I'm the only person that thinks this, but do you pay rent anywhere else right now or no?
I was paying rent at 2 places for a while, but I'm not paying rent anywhere right now.
So now you're just
Actually,
straight up on the road.
yep, I have nowhere to live when I go back home now.
So you're like one of those guys that's like walking on the side of the highway with like a stick and like the handkerchief thing, right?
Yep, exactly.
Okay. So it pays to know people through the room or through wherever you meet them, because you can stay at Raiken's house, right? And he's probably not charging you anything, right?
It's $50 a night.
he makes my
I'm just
smoothies
kidding.
and juices in the morning. I get him on labor.
He does all Raiken's FBA stuff.
He's
Anyway.
shipping all my stuff out.
You're
Yeah.
shipping all your stuff out, man. You're gonna work this guy to the bone. And by the way, if you're watching this show, guys, and you want to ask Jamison a question about, you know, the trip or his FBA business, which likely the question is here on the sheet anyway, then go ahead and ask it. And we're gonna start, you know, going back and forth with Jamison with different questions. The 100-day trip. Where did you start from? Where are you headed? Like, we want to give people kind of like a, you know, those people that are like on there on Periscope might be like, oh my God, he's coming through Virginia, or he's coming through North Carolina or Kentucky or something. Maybe I can meet up with this guy. Kind of tell us which way you're headed to Austin, I guess.
Let's see. So yeah, from Connecticut, I'm going to go to Rhode Island and visit another Green Room member. And then from Rhode Island, I'm heading to New York, New Jersey area, around Union City, New Jersey. I'll probably be there for 10 days or so. That's probably where the most Green Room members live, is that area. I think about 8 to 10 of them live within 20 minutes of Union City.
Wow.
So I'll meet up with them, and then me and Cody are going to travel through Tennessee, through like Nashville, Chattanooga, and stuff like that, and then we'll kind of just be going, you know, down. Like, I forget what other states we pass through, but we're going to be going basically from New York to Austin.
You're going to take the diagonal route, not the coastal route through Florida.
Yep,
or that stuff.
yep, the diagonal route.
The
Exactly.
diagonal route. Okay, cool. Raiken, you've been on that diagonal route, haven't you?
On my way back, I hit it a little bit, but when I came to Texas, I went all the way down, you know, all the way down through Florida, and then swept through the other side and kind of came through like New Orleans and stuff.
Okay. What's one town, Raiken, that when you were doing your 90-day trip that you're like, don't go to this town? Like, what's one town that just comes up in your head, you're like, don't go to this town?
South Carolina and North Carolina were like really, really bad for any type of books or electronics or FBA stuff for me. Like it was really good for like eBay people, but I'd highly recommend going around it. At least to the Goodwills. The Goodwills in North and South Carolina were really, really, really bad. The pawn shops were actually really good. There was a pawn shop called Dick's, and it's a really big pawn shop. Did really well there, but I don't know. Be careful if you're only FBA and you're not doing retail arbitrage and you're just focusing on like electronics and books, you might have some trouble out there.
Okay. And the real Iron Dan, right in the comment feed right now, is saying, when are you going to Rhode Island, Jamison? He's near Boston. He's a stone's throw away. He's like, if you throw a stone, you might hit this guy in the head. So, when are you going to Rhode Island? Let's get that out of the way.
I should be there probably Wednesday of next week.
Okay, Wednesday of next week. The real Iron Dan, if you want to hook up with Jamison or maybe just see what the whole, commotion's about and how he hustles, hit him up on Facebook. Is that an accurate thing to do? Yeah?
Facebook was perfect.
All right, so there we go. Virginia and Carolina suck for profits. That's what Scott Fitzgerald said. Okay, well, I mean, I've made money in the Carolinas, but it was usually antique booth-based stuff. So, and I agree with Raiken on the thrift stores were kind of like not that good from what I remember.
Not like Austin, Texas, where you walk in and there's just treasures all over the place.
Dude, there's stuff everywhere in Austin. I think I do have it pretty good, but I don't have it the best, but I do have it pretty good. Okay, so now we know where you're kind of headed. Are you headed anywhere after Austin, or is that where you kind of like, what happens to you and Cody at Austin? And Cody is the guy from Australia, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
we haven't gotten that far yet. He might fly somewhere else and go visit another reseller friend. I'm going to cap my trip off in Vegas. After I leave Austin, I'll be in Vegas for about 4 weeks.
4 weeks in Vegas?
Yeah, there's the eBay convention thing going on, and then we got ASD the next day. Like each one goes for like 3 days, and then after that, the Magic convention.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit up those 3, and then I'm gonna drive home after
the
that.
Magic convention. What do you mean by the Magic convention?
It's called Magic. It's like wholesale with like shoes and stuff, I believe, or something like that.
Okay. See, when you said magic, I'm all like, okay, is it like David Copperfield? Are we talking like the Magic playing cards? Is this like a drunk convention where everyone's like butt crack is hanging out, like, and they're playing games all day? Like, I don't know, but anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. So a Magic convention. So you're pretty busy over there in Las Vegas when you're gonna get down there. Right? It sounds like you're gonna be really busy.
Pretty interesting.
Stay away from all the gambling, bro. Okay, so now. Some of these towns, are you going to a lot of new towns, or have you been through these places before?
On the way to Connecticut, I took a totally new route, as I did last time when I went to the East Coast. So it's all new to me.
It's all new to you. Okay, cool. So it's all new to you. Are there any spots on this trip that you love going to? You're like, okay, I know this is going to be a great time. I'm going to this town. Or are you excited about being in certain places on this trip, and what are those places?
So far on the trip, Carlisle, Pennsylvania was probably the coolest place. That's where Steven Peterson is from.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, gorgeous place. Like probably one of the nicest places I've been in the United States. Like it was just.
What was so nice?
Like there was like apple orchards everywhere. So like when you go driving, like it's just like all apple trees and like old buildings from like the 1700s, 1600s. Like the town I was in, like where my hotel was. Like you come out the hotel door and it's just like all old brick stuff. Just like it's really cool. It was really interesting.
Okay, so you like that place. Any other places that when you're like, okay, that you're on this trip that you're like, I like thrifting there, I make money in that town that you can think of?
I did, let's see, I did pretty good in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for thrifting and retail arbitrage. I can't wait to get to Austin, though. Austin was freaking crazy good.
Were you one of the ones that like crushed it with Brock and the other guy and Kevin Nielsen?
Yeah.
Was that you?
Yeah, me, Kevin, and Brock went garage selling that day.
Yeah, I remember you guys like went till your eyes were bleeding because like basically you had to turn down. I remember Kevin Nielsen saying that you guys were turning down like $50 here, $100 there because you guys were so full of inventory.
Yeah, Brock found a big giant M&M that took up like half of the freaking back seat.
Oh, that's so funny, man. But I mean, that's the kind of the point. The deals are so good in this town sometimes where you get in scenarios like that where you have to you have to say no to some great things because there's just so much of it. Anyway, I hope everyone that comes into Austin in July is going to find a great amount of stuff. And quite honestly, we do a fair amount of thrifting in the early part of the hangout, which is like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday part. So anyway, that's in the green room schedule. Check it out on the website. Okay, so let's now talk about your thrift, your big box stores, and your pawn strategy. We're going to get to that in 1 second. I saw a comment in here real quick by Cherie Harrison. It says, how many of you are going to the eBay event in Vegas in July? She's thinking of going, but she wants to make sure it's worth it. So how many people are going to that eBay event?
I know me and Aisha are going, and then Danny Tang is going as well. I think there was a couple other people. I think Lee was going.
How much is it, and do you think it's going to be worth it?
It's $199. To be honest, I don't sell a lot on eBay. I'm just going for the networking and the experience, and it just doesn't hurt to get extra knowledge. So
you never know who you're going to meet there. One thing that you learn could lead to thousands of dollars of profit. In our business, a $200 investment really isn't much for something like that.
Okay. Have you been to this thing, Raiken, before or no?
I haven't, but I've gone to a lot of seminars and just different conferences and stuff. And every time I go, I just you pick up one gold nugget, it could pay, or just one connection. It's a great opportunity. So I'm actually looking to go to a lot more of these things. So maybe I'll consider meeting up with you over in Vegas. You said?
Yeah, Vegas.
Cool. Yeah.
Okay. So there was a question in here, Nitro Will. How much does the Austin meetup cost? The Austin meetup, for the most part, is generally free, except for the actual event itself is $30 a head, $15 for a child under 12, is it? Something like that. But yeah, that's the event. We're actually closing the doors to that event here pretty soon, like in the next couple of days. So, and it's a barbecue. It's an actual event, so you can go check it out on the Green Room page. Raiken, the Green Room event page, is that something that members only can see, or is that something that public can see too?
Yeah, the Green Room event page, although I still think we need to discuss this, but from the most part, the event's pretty much for at least the dinner that we have, which the 4-hour event we have, which we have a lot of stuff. We have dancing, DJ, just a ton of things, prizes. That's for Green Room members only, but yeah, the whole page is pretty much locked off for members, which we have over 500. So if you are a member, you can check that out, and we'd love to have you there.
Okay, so that's what's going down July 9th. So let's go into your thrift, big box stores, and pawn kind of thing, because that's your split, right, Jamison? Like when you go to town, you're doing thrift, big box store, and pawn, right?
Right now, it's mostly big box stores. It kind of just depends on where I'm at.
Okay.
Just like based on what city I'm at is what I'm feeling, because it's like the thrift stores are so...
He wasn't too excited when we walked into Savers today. He goes, I'm not in the mood for thrift. I just want to go look for new items. It's easier. But it's funny for me, walking into a thrift store is a lot easier for me, but it's like we have our own specialties.
That's really interesting, because I know most of the stuff that you hustle, Raiken, is from thrift stores, garage sales, it seems like, right?
Yeah.
They're scanning books and stuff. Mm-hmm. So he comes in and he wants to do the new thing, which, did you find anything at the thrift store, Jamison, or not?
I found a Shopkins toy and some books.
Oh, wow.
Right under my nose.
Yeah, I found a Shopkins mystery pack. I don't know if you remember those.
Like the black thing?
They have a newer version, a pink one that you can't find anymore. I found one for $12. It's going for like 46 or something like that.
Is it like season 4 or season 5, I guess? One of those?
Yeah, I'm not too sure which one it is. It's like the second edition mystery pack, like the black one, but it's a pink box now.
So it's the one after the black one then, right?
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I actually bought like 4 or 5 of the black ones out of a Toys R Us like in December, and my wife was like, "Are these any good?" Because look at that. I was like, "Oh my gosh, that is so rare to have that. You have no idea."
We were together, weren't we?
No, not for the mystery pack. We were together for these other little ones and
the dolls.
Not the Bubbleisha. There was another doll.
It was like a green one. It was a certain aqua color.
It was called Peppermint.
Yeah, Peppermint with the brown like dookie stains on it.
One of my peppermints sold for $100 in December. The other one sold for $149.99.
That is crazy.
That little tiny thing.
Those are $14 dolls in December anyway. So, Thrifty Treasures is clarifying season 5 is the current Shopkins right now. So there you go. Hey, what's up, Retro? What are you doing, man?
What up, y'all?
Dude, just got home.
Dude, you sound like a freaking.
Your voice sounds deeper than average.
Oh man, it's hot, dude. My allergies, man, it's hot. Dude, I'm a hot mess.
Am I the only one getting a little intimidated right now?
Do I sound sexy?
It's the new microphone. You actually have a beautiful voice, Young.
Dude, do I sound sexy or what?
Hey man, I don't roll that way, but if I did.
What's up, Jamison?
What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Good. Do I sound sexy?
Of course. How's your rat?
Huh?
I said, how's your little rat over there?
My rodent.
Rodent. Buddy. That's your buddy. There he is. Is Buddy having his dinner?
A little snack, I guess. Yeah.
Sounds so funny.
No joke, man. It sounds like Horatio from CSI Miami. I don't know. That's a weird. I don't know who's gonna get this reference, but Horatio from CSI
You know,
Miami. Okay,
I don't watch a lot of television, so.
okay, but I know someone here knows what I'm talking about. Okay, so big box strategy. Let's focus, Jamison. Focus. Okay, we're gonna get through this show. I know this beanie's on your head a little too tight, but we're gonna get through the show. All right.
All right, buddy.
All right, so your big box strategy. This is what I really wanted to talk to you about, and hopefully people out there in the comment feed have some other questions that are relating to this, because I do big box strategy. I have a big box strategy as well with replens, and I do the clearance stuff, which everyone's like, oh, it's not sustainable, but quite honestly, like right now, it's not bad. Let's talk about the margin talk first, Jamison. What goes on through your head with the margin thing? When you're scanning an item, okay? Well, let's just talk, what goes through your head? You pick up something. Let's just say, what's your favorite place to go to in a big box store? Like, what's your favorite section? Do you go to electronics first? Do you go to like housewares? Like, where do you go first usually?
Right now, I'm getting out of this slowly, but Target electronics and Target toys is what I'm hitting most right now.
Okay, so you hit those the most. Okay, and then any other places in the store that you kind of go to just to check out before you check out?
Grocery. I've been getting heavy. I'm getting heavier into grocery since that's a gated category. You kind of got to mix it up now since there's like just a stampede of new Amazon sellers. Things get a little tougher, so you got to, go to new categories that most people can't sell in. So grocery has been really big the past couple of months.
Okay, cool. And being on the road, is grocery the smartest thing to be messing with, or you still like doing it?
It's all right. I mean, I just kind of go where the money is, where the stuff is. I know the price erosion isn't going to drop. 50% of my margin is going to be gone in a week by the time I send it in, like it is usually with toys and stuff. Because most of the items are just like annihilated by the time they check in.
Raiken, do you know what we're talking? You know what we're talking about here, right?
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. You've got to get it in. When you're buying these toys and stuff from these big box stores, a lot of times, there's a wave that's going on across the nation, and if you don't get it in quick, there is that race to the bottom. So it's get it in quick and get your price, or be willing to wait it out, because you don't want to sell your items at 70% loss within 3 weeks.
Yeah. Yang, race to the bottom. Have you ever experienced it? I think we all have, but do you know what we're talking about?
Oh yeah. No, that's why I don't do groceries as much anymore. First of all, I just got sick and tired of keeping track of the expiration date. I think when we first talked, we would talk about the cookies that I used to sell and stuff, but I just don't do it anymore.
So someone eroded your cookies?
Yeah, man, they would expire.
So someone broke up all of Young's cookies and took them all away. Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But I remember that cookie talk back in the day, man. You were like super excited about these cookies. Well, I experienced the erosion thing firsthand almost every single week, but I have actually calculated that into my projection with margin talk. So going back to what Jamison said, he said something very interesting that I want to kind of get a little bit more information about, which was I kind of go to things that aren't going to have that erosion happening to them. So explain that further to us a little bit, Jamison.
Basically, I've been getting into like bundling different items. Which are nice because most of the time you can't scan multiple barcodes and they're going to come up with the listing, so you have to manually type to search for these bundles, and those are the things that you'll get very little competition on.
Oh, okay, I see. So you're talking like maybe 1 or 2 FBA people, not even that sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes it'll be like, I've found things that I've been on for 6-7 months and I'm the only FBA seller, like just because I found bundles that you couldn't scan. So I've had really good luck with that in the past few months.
So what do you mean? Are you taking like 2 toys and putting them together?
Yeah, basically like that. Someone has already created the listing, and I do that with grocery items too. There might say there's a, for example, a vanilla and a chocolate. Manually look those up and look for all the different bundles for all the different flavors. And then I've had better luck doing that with very little competition.
That's pretty cool, man. So you're heavy on the DNS sticker, do not separate kind of stuff. You got that thing on. Are you putting a lot of these things in boxes, or are you putting them in poly bags? Like, how are you doing some of these things?
I try to get things that I can polybag.
Yeah.
So I can minimize my prep work, because I don't want to be prepping for hours at a time, especially on the road and in and out of hotels constantly. I'm very limited to time, so I try to do the minimal prep work when I buy these items.
Okay. With the scale of the kind of stuff that you do, and I've seen you hustle thrift store goods and pawn shop stuff. I haven't seen you in big box store. I can only imagine that your big box Wrath, your Category 5 Philippi Hurricane is like pretty awful. So I need that leads me like if you're going on a 100-day trip, what are you doing about poly bags? I mean, is your entire trunk poly bags? Like how do you with the amount of stuff that you're probably sending in, don't you have to have like a bazillion poly bags like in your?
I've got
in
a
your
few.
car?
I think I bought about 1,200 poly bags before I left.
1,200 poly bags. Oh
And
my.
I'm already running out of some sizes, so I actually have some being shipped to Raiken's house.
Okay, that was my next question. Like, you're gonna have to figure out like a place to stay at for a couple of days, and then you can get a prime shipment of poly.
Yeah, usually
right?
I'll plan it ahead, and I'll say like, hey, blah, blah, I'm passing through your city. Can I have some stuff shipped there? I'll pick it up when I'm driving through, and then I just pick it up from whoever's house.
So with the race to the bottom, when you buy these items at retail stores and you're on the road, I mean, what's the longest you'll let your inventory sit in your car or your truck for or at a buddy's house until you ship it off? I mean, what's your rule of thumb? Like, what advice would you have for somebody who buys clearance, from Target, which, there's a good chance that it's clearancing all over the country? What's the longest you would wait until your margins are going to start to get hurt? Because like we said before, it's like you either want to get your money quick and send it and beat everybody out, or you're going to have to wait it out,
What I've been doing, because everybody has that strategy. Say you have a new Target sale starts on Sunday. Everybody goes and buys their stuff Sunday. Even if you ship it out Monday, everybody else is doing that. The prices are still going to frickin' be annihilated by the time.
What about inventory placement? Do you take that off to beat some people out as well?
I play around with inventory placement and I turn it off. And you still hit that huge race at the bottom because that huge wave of people are sending everything in. So what I'm doing now, right now there's a Target sale, 25 off $100 on toys. Everybody's taking advantage of that, and I've done the sale 5, 6, 7 times already. So I'm buying everything I can, and I'm going to wait a month. So I'm going to let all these fools race to the bottom, make their minimum profits, and then in a month everything's going to shoot back up, and I'll be able to get my full profit. Like that's what I've been doing, and it's working out great.
I've noticed that. That's really funny because I had some. It was this Wii. I don't know if it was nunchucks or something. I forgot what it was. It was for a Wii U. I don't know what it was, but it was like down.
He was doing this motion like it was nunchucks, so maybe it was nunchucks.
I don't know, but it was down to like 14 or 15 bucks. I'm like, I'm not going to send this in. It's not worth it. And I just checked. I forgot about them for like 2 months. They were in a closet. They're up to 30 bucks. And I'm like, it's amazing. Some things go back up. They really do. What's happening? Like, what's happening right there? Like, break that down.
I think a lot of people have that burn and turn mentality, the quick nickel, which it ends up being like a quick 2 cents, like because everybody's has the same strategy. Like, I mean, I'd probably say 75% of people have that burn and turn quick nickel strategy. Get everything in, you buy it today, ship it out tomorrow. I mean, everybody's doing that, so everybody's going to have the same issue where the prices just shoot down, sometimes to break even. A lot of my things have even come down to losses. Like, and it's like, why sell for a loss? I'd rather just wait it out. It's worst case scenario. Like, I wait a couple months and, I'll still make a profit. I can afford to do that now where I have no problem waiting for a month or 2 months to sell an item.
No, Jamison, are you doing that for perishables or just toys?
Mostly for toys. A lot of my perishable stuff, I make sure the expiration date is like 9 months out or longer sometimes.
Yeah, because I was going to say that's a dangerous...
Yeah.
I mean, that's like I said, that's one of the reasons why I stopped doing groceries, because I just got sick of keeping track of the expiration dates.
It's a pain. It is, especially when everybody.
I used to keep a spreadsheet of that, and I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I feel you there. Yeah.
Dude, man, every time Young talks, I feel like he kidnapped like someone I loved.
Yeah. We're like talking to the guy.
That was like a kidnapper. Like I'm about to make a ransom.
Hey, Chris, come on, be honest. Am I turning you on? I'm turning you on, huh?
I'm actually getting turned on a little bit.
Okay, I see. See, he's being honest.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you practicing for the Godfather or what?
Huh?
You in the mafia?
Let's go into the comment feed real quick. I know everyone loves his voice, but let's go into the comment feed and answer some of these questions from John Conley in the comment feed live right now. What are the mechanics of Jamison's bundle for barcodes?
Mechanics for my barcodes.
How do you put a bundle together?
I'm usually jumping on other people's listings. I've created maybe 2 listings recently on my own, but 95% of the items I sell, I'm jumping on other people's bundles that I find that are hard to look up, but they still can sell good.
Okay, let's get into that lookup part. I think that's also going to answer a couple questions in here. Like, what's this lookup thing, and how can someone like maybe emulate this lookup thing and become your competition, James? I'm just kidding. How can people do this kind of like this thing that you're talking about? Like, just describe it. Like, you open up a laptop, you go to Amazon, right? And then what do you? Let's just say you're in like toothbrush aisle, okay? How would you proceed in toothbrush aisle with this kind of strategy?
See, like when you see, sometimes there's like either multiple listings or multiple variations. Like you can scan a toothbrush, for example, and a listing may or may not pop up. Sometimes I'll take that same toothbrush and I'll manually look up the toothbrush and see what I get, different variations, different colors, maybe like a soft brush opposed to a medium, like whatever you call it, and like just look up, because sometimes you can find more profitable items that way, and you can find a better listing or one that goes for more money, or maybe a multi-pack, with 2 or 3 toothbrushes, or maybe a toothbrush and a toothpaste or something like that.
And that's if you manually look it up, no barcode scan and no UPC type in, none of that stuff. Just manually typing in like what you see on the toothbrush itself, right? So that takes a little bit more work, right?
It does. It takes a lot of work, and it is very, very. It gets really annoying. I'm not even gonna lie.
Okay. Is it one of those things that you do before you buy the item, and you're like, okay, now I gotta look for the red one, the green one, and the blue one, because that's what's on the listing, and then you go through and you search through and you find those 3 things. You're like, all right, I can make this bundle, and I'll make a lot, and there's only 2 people on the listing, right? Like, is that what we're talking about? Okay, cool.
Exactly.
We were at Target today, and it's so funny because Jamison and my buddy Tim, who's sitting next to me, we were with him, and he's not even scanning things. He's just going down the aisle, and he's just throwing things in his cart. He's like, oh, good, this is good, and he's not even scanning. He knows. But there was one example where he took like 7 or 8 of an item and threw it in his cart, and I'm like, what is that? And he goes, I've got a 10-pack listing. So we don't have to tell the people what the item is. Obviously, we don't blow up your spot. But how did you come across that bundle right there with the 10 item instead of selling it just as one?
Is just doing the research, looking it up, looking up bundles for certain toys, certain grocery items, certain health and beauty items, just manually looking the stuff up, and you can get different variations. Like if there's 15 of different items, there might be 20 different bundles where they have like 3 of this one, 1 of that one, all 10 of them, like 1 of this one, 1 of that one. I mean, there's just tons of variations.
Now, if somebody wants to create their own bundle, because I heard that the rules have changed lately, I'd like for anyone to correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that there was a new rule now where Amazon, like for example, when you go to create a bundle, you've got to get your own UPC code, right? And I heard that Amazon wasn't accepting the old way of getting a UPC code, which usually I think you get for like a couple bucks, and now they wanted this like G something, like this certain, I don't know,
it's like certain type something like that.
Yeah, which I believe was like $100 a year. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was like a yearly thing, which was expensive. Do you know anything about that, Jamison? And anyone in the comments for people who want to start their own bundle and get their own UPC code and everything and start the listing. What do you know about that?
I don't know much. I know just as much as you do. I've heard a little bit about it, and I've glanced at it a little bit, but I didn't go further into it because I wasn't ever really creating my own listings using my own UPC code, so I never really got into that.
Okay, so what we're talking about here, just to summarize it to people, is that bundling is an important thing to start looking at, and echo off other people's bundles. How do you know if a bundle is done the right way and not done the right way, Jamison? Like, are there certain metrics like you're looking for, like ratings, or like are you looking for stars? I mean, what are you looking for in the bundle to where you're like, okay, this is the real bundle, not that one? Like,
I take the reviews into huge consideration when I'm buying stuff. Like, I'll go in and look at the reviews, and you can get a good idea of, if the items are listed right. I'll look at the actual item description, because sometimes in the title it might be a little misleading. Then you look at the description, it's a different size, or like. Let's say this for an example. Like, say you're selling this. The packaging might be different. I won't sell it if the packaging is at all different, because I just don't want to take that 1% chance at someone complaining or trying to say it's fake or whatever. So I always go through the reviews to see if there's complaints on the item, like saying, oh, this, they remade the product. It's crap. I just like try to cover every angle so that way I have no returns, in a sense where I don't have any issues later down the road from it.
Okay. Davis Belding live in the comments right now. Best stores for clearance. Just real quick on the top of your head. When we talk clearance, what do you get excited about? Some Kmart's, Targets, some.
Targets and Walmart's for sure. This is what I've done the best at.
Walmart for me.
Okay.
Walmart is the best, but it's hard to find it. But when you find it, you do insanely well.
Right. I also have another question about the electronics. Right. The electronics and the race to the bottom. I mean, electronics are notorious for having. I mean, current electronics, are those some of the things that you would hold for 2 months, 3 months? Or are you sitting there going, okay, the electronic is tech-related, like, this smartwatch is going to be old news. Now everyone's wanting this next, version 2 smartwatch. Are you still holding on to electronics like you do toys, like with that 1 or 2 month kind of hold, and you want to make sure that the race to the bottom occurs, and then you're there in the end surviving the whole thing, or do you kind of do the race to the bottom with the electronics?
It depends on the brand of the item. If I know it's something like you said, the smartwatch, like this smartwatch, it obviously is going to be old news in a couple of months. Something like that, I will dump. Like I've been buying a lot of at Target, a lot of clearance Skull Candy headphones, a lot. And those always recover for me, I've noticed. Or, they'll even go higher than before. So like something, say a Skull Candy headphones, I'll wait that out a couple months. But something like a smartwatch that's going to be, obsolete in 2 months, I will get rid of that, even at a loss if I have to.
Yeah, because that's what was one of my primary questions. Because lately in the Target clearance, the smartwatches have been pretty decent, and that's definitely one of those plays. Like I wouldn't wait till the next, whatever basis peak, you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Like into the, I mean, that's a good watch. I'm actually wearing one right now, but when the next one comes out, the first one's gonna be, no one's gonna want it. And it's a 3 out of 5 Amazon star, so you take a chance of returns as well. So Jason Clark, wonderful comment. I love this. Davis, why just scan? Oh, sorry. Why scan just clearance? What's wrong with full price? Let's answer that. I don't know if that's directed towards you or someone else, but do you scan full price stuff too?
Yeah, well, I'd say 75% of what I'm buying is full retail price.
Okay. Now, that's kind of interesting because a lot of people are doing the clearance thing. I mean, I'm guilty of it, and I'm guilty of the full price thing too, but I was doing more of an experiment with replens and stuff like that. Talk to us about your full price strategy, because that can occur anywhere in the store, irregardless of a sale or discount. Like, you're just scanning full price stuff.
That's where the majority of the income comes from, is full price stuff. Usually I'll take less margins on that because like the erosion isn't as bad because most people aren't looking for it, or it's not going to have a sale or something like that where everybody's just shooting to the bottom to get in, get out kind of mentality.
That being said, you are still looking for buy one, get one free and all kinds of crazy deals associated with that, of course. Okay.
Yep, always.
Young, what's going on, man? You got a question for him?
No, not really.
You look like you had a question. Okay, if you do have a question, let me know. Let's talk about returns on the road. Well, first of all, Hunter Goldner's comment real quick. Where is it? Here we go. Can anybody go on the road and source, or does it take a certain personality to drive?
Anybody can do it. Just depend. I mean, it's definitely easier, I think, if you're like single. Obviously, people with families, kids, and stuff like that, it probably gets a little tougher. But yeah, anybody can do it. Anybody with the time.
Do you mind if I chime in here a little bit? Actually, Jamison and I did a private show in the green room about this, and it's on Jamison's Periscopes and Retail Rabbit's YouTube videos, it looks all fun and glamorous, right? I mean, but you guys, Jamison, you and I talked about this. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work compared to what we're doing at home, because you have to think about it. Every night he goes into a new hotel, he has to take his inventory out of the car into the hotel. And when he switches hotels, it's the same process, right? Mm-hmm. And you're in a tiny room, you got all your inventory, so it's a lot of work. Again, when you watch the videos, it looks great, it looks glamorous, it looks fun, and it is. But at the same time, it's a lot of work.
And you need good internet. Sometimes, I don't know. I know when I was on my trips, you go into that one hotel, and it's just, I mean, you can't even load Amazon up. Don't even think about watching a YouTube video. But yeah, I'd like to chime in too, because I went on a 30-day road trip and a 90-day road trip. It looks glamorous. I love how you said that, Young. It looks amazing in the videos. But in terms of personality, I'd like to say it takes commitment, it takes patience, and it takes consistency. I mean, you've got to consistently, it's repetitive. You got to do the same thing day in and day out, and it's long hours at times. I mean, Jamison was supposed to be to my house, a day earlier, but he was up till 4 in the morning finishing up a shipment. Tell people about that. 4 in the morning, man.
I actually got kicked out. Well, not kicked out of the hotel, but my checkout was at noon, and they were like banging on my door at 2, like, bro, you gotta go. It's time to go.
Oh my gosh.
Man, yeah, it was. Yeah, I messed up on the shipment. They were doing construction in the hotel lobby, so you couldn't get in to park your car and bring everything down. So I had to bring 10 boxes one at a time down the stairs. Yeah. And bring my suitcases and my bag. I mean, it took me an hour and a half.
So, to do I mean, it's a lot of work. And again, we talked about you can't do your laundry on a regular basis. There's no grocery shopping. You're constantly eating out. I mean, it's a grind. It's a real grind.
We have a comment from Enzo the Picker saying, "I could never travel and source like that." You know, this is for certain people. It sounds like, and like Jameson said, likely if you're single, have no pets, and you know you got that freedom going, then yeah, you can do that kind of stuff. Raiken, you
Wait
did
a minute. Wait, hold on, man. You can do it with pets, man. Buddy goes on a sourcing trip with me all the time.
Okay.
You guys
So
switch
yeah, but
off
how
turns
long are your
driving?
sourcing trips? Like this guy's going on a 100-day, and Raiken did a 30 and a 90. Is Buddy going on 30 and 90s with you, Young?
Dude, when I met you for the first time, that was a 30-day trip.
A 30-day?
Yeah. Remember when I drove all the way out to Texas?
Yeah, I remember
A
that.
lot of hotels are pet friendly.
Yeah.
That is when the green room started, actually. Was when Young came to town. We had Japanese food. See, that's the key, man. You want to start something awesome? Have Japanese food with Young.
Dude,
Buddy.
hit me up. Hit me up.
Great things are going to happen. All right, so let's get into the no dog for Torn B1. Where's your dog, Jameson? You don't have a dog, right?
I do have a dog, yeah.
Oh, you do? Where's your dog then, man?
He is at the place I used to live at, hanging out.
Like,
waiting
is
for
he
me to get
there
back.
and there's no
What
one
the
there?
heck does that mean?
Yeah. There's people taking care of him.
Okay.
The place I used to live at. Sketchy response.
Would you go back to SPCA?
Davis Belding openly asking everyone out on YouTube land, does anyone do resale in North Carolina? So if anyone wants to hustle or resale with Davis Belding, give a little bit more specifics. Maybe it's Charlotte. Where are you at? Maybe we can help you out. The real Iron Dan is saying, is Young's camera like 2 feet above his monitor? LOL. It's like, you kind of have like a drone view, dude. It's like a little phantom drone is like above Young.
No, I'm on my iMac. Jameson saw it. That thing's
Is there any
huge.
chance that you could put the camera like higher on the ceiling, Young?
No, because the iMac is very big.
Okay, all right. Let's see what else is going on here. Daniel Justin said, I'd suggest everyone try to doing it at least once, which is like the road trip kind of thing. Jameson, what goes on through your head when you are bringing 10 boxes up and down the stairs, then your luggage, then all this stuff? Are you just sitting there like, this was a bad idea? Or are you like, I can't wait to be at Raiken so I can like just destroy his house? Like, what are you thinking in your head?
I hate doing that so much. I get so many stares. They'll like look at me, like especially if I'm at like a say like a 3-star like the Hilton or like like a more somewhat upscale hotel. They'll look at me like, remember Raiken when we were in Florida? They're like, what are you guys moving in? Like, because we had these tons of carts going back and forth.
We had just destroyed a Michaels, and we had like 400 SKUs in our car.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it was bad.
What are the chances that you're going to flood the bathroom in your hotel room, or flood maybe Raiken's bathroom?
I didn't do it as bad as Raiken did, but I did flood my bathroom one day, but I caught it way before it got too bad.
I'll never forget that story on Raiken's Periscope. Anyway, that was good. I'll never forget that one. I'll never forget the CD haul that he got so excited about, but then like a couple Periscopes later, he was like, why did I do this? This was not a good idea.
Well, I was stuck in a smoking room at like a Motel 6, and I'm like, I quit smoking cigarettes, and I'm like, my whole body's just like going into like shutdown mode.
Oh my gosh, you had a lot of CDs. How many CDs was that? Like 500 less?
I made so much money off that haul, it's ridiculous.
It took forever though, right, to process all that?
Well worth it, and I couldn't fit it into my car, and thankfully someone at the antique mall put all the CDs in their minivan and met me over to the place. It was very sketchy. I'm surprised things went down the way they did.
Oh my gosh. So yeah, little cool stories on the road. And
I got a question.
Oh, hold on. You can definitely check out Jamison's story at Deals by Jay on Periscope. He is on there every single day, guys. Deals, DEALZ by JAY. Okay.
I'll link it up below in the in the description. But I wanted to ask, what tips do you have, Jamison, for people who want to go on this road trip? Maybe they don't. Maybe they have a little Volkswagen or a little Hyundai Sonata or whatever, and they don't have a ton of room. Maybe they don't have a spaceship like Bonafide. What advice would you have for someone who wants to go out and do retail arbitrage, toys, thrift stores, and you know how quick it is to pack up these cars? It doesn't take much inventory to pack them up, especially if you're buying life-size M&M people. But what advice would you have for being able to buy a bunch of stuff and load it up in your car? Do you have a system for organizing it, boxes, compartments? What are your thoughts on that?
I used to actually source I had a 2-door Cavalier. And I used to drive back from Minnesota to Nashville with that. With a smaller vehicle, I would source smaller items, and also usually if I don't have a lot of room, I'll open up boxes and then I'll like strategically play Tetris in the boxes so I can fill up. I'll use the front seat, I'll use the back seat floors, the trunk. There's even been times where I had to put stuff in my lap in the driver's seat, use the dashboard. Like I cleared out a Walmart before, and I mean literally I could barely get my door shut. I had stuff all just like, I'm not even lying. Like if a cop would have pulled me over, I probably would have went to jail. Like, it was all up in the windshield and just everywhere. I filled up 5 carts at a Walmart one time in a 2-door Cavalier, and it was awful.
If it gets to that point, you just need to process your inventory immediately. Seriously, if it gets to that point, just process it.
That was all one store. I was completely empty before that.
It's tough on the road, though. I've been there and done that. I remember I was picking up those big Ninja Turtle sets. I forgot what they were, but they were going for like $200.
Sewer playset, I think.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of them, and I got to my car, and I'm like, crap, there's no way. There's no way. And I somehow got them in. I think I had to sell most of them as used because all the boxes got smashed up.
So the car you have now, Jamison, what is it now?
I have a Chevy Equinox right now, which is
4 doors or 2 doors? 4 doors, right?
4-door, yeah, it's a SUV.
It's an SUV, okay.
Twice as much room as your Cavalier had, or what do you think? Kind of like that?
Yeah, probably like 3 times the amount, probably 2 times at least.
Okay, that's good, man.
To the point where it's too small now.
There's so many funny comments in the feed. Okay, I'm gonna have to read a couple of them. Okay, these are kind of funny. Where does it start? Because here we go from Hunter Goldner. Have you ever met Hunter Goldner before? Yes or no?
Gosh, is that? No, I don't think I have. No.
Okay,
no.
Jamison, who watches your kids? Is it ideal to have a long-term nanny? All right, and then this is what Scott Fitzgerald said to that. Jamison sent his kids into FBA.
That's awesome.
As a bundle.
Oh my gosh, this is so funny. All right, so we got Terry Dickens in Raleigh, North Carolina. So yeah, if you're in North Carolina, holler out in the comment feed right now, because guys, meet up with each other. Even if you're not in the green room, just meet up with other resellers. It's an amazing, amazing thing to do. Trust me, it's so much fun. So let's talk about Nitro Wheel's comment here. Any tips for not getting kicked out of Target for being a reseller? This is interesting. Let me ask you this. They have something on their website, right, Jamison, where it says like we don't deal with resellers, right? But if you're covert, you can still buy some really great stuff. Nitro Wheel's comment: tips for not getting kicked out of Target for being a reseller. What can you? How can you answer that question?
There's quite a few tips. Today was the first day I ever had an issue at Target.
Describe your issue for the people that might have not watched your Periscope, which is including myself.
So yeah, they have right now. Target does this a few times a year. $25 off a $100 purchase for toys, and you can only use the coupon once per day. But 90% of the cashiers are so nice they'll let you do multiple transactions and use the coupon over and over and over. And I usually use the coupon, 3, 4, 5, 6 times per store, and then I just do $100 transactions. And today, a manager came over and had to price change something for me, and he saw that I had multiple transactions, and he wasn't having it. But like when they don't have the sales, if you have 10 of one item, 10 of another item, 10 of another item, don't go 10, 10, 10 where they're scanning the same item. You're going to go on their radar. Spread them around. Make conversation with them. If you have to get like milk and groceries and stuff, grab a few of those, throw that in there, because then it won't look as bad. Buy random stuff and like make conversation. Be cool. Make sure you distract them in the sense where you're conversating with them when they're not paying attention to what they're scanning. And I think it's super important to, depending on who you go, younger girls, teenagers are the best. And then people, I think Tim said this one, people that hate their job don't care about it. And I never noticed that, but that is such a good tip for checking out, because people that don't care aren't going to care. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to get away with it for the most part, but they have been cracking down really bad lately.
Okay. Daniel Justin says, I usually check out of the electronics area where the cell phones workers are wearing the black shirts, so that you can do that, I guess.
Yeah, I've done that too a couple times.
Cheryl Ann says, Target is not stopping resellers. The main office said that if they did, they would lose a lot of business with couponers. Okay. Well, I mean, I don't know if we just see what's on the corporate, right? I mean, we've seen the message on the corporate website. I think it's circulated around every single group out there. So, let's see what's going on here. There's a meetup in, I guess, Houston this coming Saturday with Texas Gal Treasures. So if you want to be part of that, I guess hit Margaret up on her channel. Lots of people from North Carolina. Make sure you say where you're from so people can hit you up behind the scenes. Okay, so let's now go into replens. Do you do replens at all? I mean, I guess this is what we're just talking about. Replens are something that you find every single Target you go to, or every single place that you go, Walmart that you go to, and you're like, okay, it's full price, it's a replen, and there's 6 people on the listing, maybe 5, really nobody. Are replens to you basically these bundle things, or are they single items?
Most of my replens are single items.
Okay.
I have quite a few replens that I pay full price.
So without giving out your items, because if we did, I promise you, no one would ever take you in any of this. No, I'm just kidding. This will go out to 1,000 people by 4 hours from now, so you would be destroyed. So we're not going to give out those tips, but we're going to give out. If there was a pie chart with your replens, where would the biggest piece of the pie be in the store? Just you can say it like that.
Right now, toys, to be honest.
Okay.
Toys and grocery.
We'll keep it out. Okay, so what aisle of the toy aisle would they be? I'm just kidding. All right.
The first 3 numbers of the UPC. Give it up.
Oh, man. Okay. He's like, I'll give you one hint. Leonardo. Okay, fine. Donatello. Okay, just kidding.
Hey, you picked up some of those today. But speaking of buying full-price things, without giving the item, why did you buy those Ninja Turtle things today?
Because they're the older version. They've got the new movie coming out, and they're pushing all the new toys in, and they're getting rid of the old toys. I've been stocking up like crazy on the 2013, 2014 Ninja Turtle toys, because I think I'm going to take a risk on them. Whether I have to hold them to Q4 until the movie comes out, I have a feeling that they're going to do really well. Worst case scenario, I make an all right profit in Q4. I think it's going to be really important to stock up on those.
The new trailer for the new TMNT movie looks really good, I think. I think it looks better than the first one. I couldn't even get through the first movie. But the second movie has Casey Jones, some other people in the party wagon, and a bunch of really cool stuff that I'm just like, all right, I kind of do want to see the second one. Who directed that movie? Is it Bay, or is it the other guy that... You know what I'm talking about? The Cloverfield dude, J.J. Abrams? You know what I'm talking about? They're just known for massive explosions and all this crazy stuff going on every 2 seconds.
Steven Spielberg?
No, it's not Spielberg. Spielberg would not touch that movie. I know the movie that Steven Spielberg is actually working on right now, that he's contracted to work on right now, is actually one of my favorite books of all time. It's called Ready Player One, and he came out of hiding to direct this movie, or I guess produce it or whatever. But that movie is going to be a game changer. Just mark my words. Okay, so let's talk about. So that's the replen secret right there. You can. So your replens are toy department. That's great. We talked about bundles. Of your overall sourcing, majority of it's big box store, right, Jamison? Majority now on the road, especially on the road, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So does that mean you're not going to touch garage sales and stuff, on Saturdays? You're not going to mess with that kind of stuff?
Yeah. Garage sales are a must every Saturday.
We're doing it this Saturday, Jameson. We are going out. It's going to be a vlog.
Okay. You guys better make sure you find an iPad, of all things.
Oh man.
You saw that one?
You know what? I will say this, man. Jameson is not a morning person, so he's going to be hurting Saturday.
I don't know, man. This guy's making an FBA shipments at 4 in the morning. I'd say he is a morning person, actually.
He just not to go to bed, right?
Oh man, well, he's going to be hurting.
All right. I think the last time that we actually talked to you, and Robert Bannerez, what's up, man? What's up, Golden Finger Picker as well? Yeah, they're doing a movie for Ready Player One. If you haven't read this book, Ready Player One, it is a totally amazing book. I have it up there, and I refuse to sell it because I want to read it over and over. But yeah, this is going to be the best movie ever. There's a question in here. Okay, I totally forgot my train of thought at this point because I got all excited about the movie thing. The garage sale thing. Yeah, let's echo in on that. Jameson, so are you going to hit garage sales every Saturday, no matter where you are in the country? Is that one of your things with the Yard Sale Treasure Map? You're going to start messing with it, or?
Yeah, I try to plan it out that way. Sometimes, if I'm leaving a city, I won't. But I usually try to plan it out where I can do garage sales every weekend. So
you're going to be in Raiken's town. So basically, you don't have to plan anything, right? He's going to take the reins, and he's going to be the chauffeur de Raiken, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
All right, you better make sure you bring your Cristal in the car, Raiken. Right? This guy going. Right. Oh, I know what my question was. Jameson, the last time we talked to you, I think one of my key takeaways is that you get 4 hours of sleep, or something ridiculously low. Do you get 4 hours of sleep now, or are you getting better sleep?
No, I'm doing 7 hours.
7 hours.
Yep, my lifestyle has definitely gone a lot healthier since then.
Yeah,
not great, but better, definitely.
Okay. Give three tips about the lifestyle thing real quick. So people out there that they're seeing a guy here that that can assume his FBA business is real strong, and I can tell you right now, being in the room, everyone knows your FBA business is strong. But now you're on the road for 100 days, and before your 100-day trip, I mean, you made decisions to start living a little bit better of a life, not in hustling terms, but as in life terms. Give the people out there like 3 things that you changed that you felt was a very crucial thing to do with your lifestyle, or with your life, the way you live it.
I started doing a morning and evening ritual, which is a huge improvement. If you don't do an evening one, at least do a morning one, because like your day is just going to get started so much better. Yeah, you get a lot more done. Eating extremely healthy. Like when I'm driving, like I'll stop at a Whole Foods and I'll pick up like 2 bags of apples, a bag of oranges, like 15 bananas, like a 32 case of water, like a pound of freaking walnuts and like almonds and stuff like that, because I don't want to stop at fast food, so I'm just constantly eating that stuff as I'm driving, just so I'm not eating Pop-Tarts and bull crap all the time.
Okay.
So it's definitely, and you feel so much better too when you eat better.
Okay, so describe the feel so much better. Like you wake up and you actually like can move around better, think better, and clear.
Yes. Oh man, you're so much more mentally clear. Like before, I used to eat like fast food 3 times a day. Stop at a gas station every couple hours. I'd have a box of Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tart crumbs all on my pants, and just like, dude, it was bad. Like I'm not even lying. Like I used to eat a whole box of Pop-Tarts a day. Like I'm not even playing. For like 2 years, I did that.
Wow.
Drinking a lot of water too. That is a huge improvement. Drinking a lot of water and minimizing your caffeine and soda and stuff like that.
Okay, cool. Anything with like walking or running or anything like that yet, or this is not really on your radar yet?
I haven't made the time for it. I don't want to say I don't have the time, because I do have the time. I just choose to do FBA all the time. But it's definitely something I want. I went to the gym at Raiken today. I'm gonna try to get on a good habit of doing that.
Okay. Raiken put you on the goddamn workout for the day, huh?
I did my own, but I still, it was.
He said he wanted to be able to walk tomorrow because it was leg day.
Were you looking at Raiken like through the mirrors and be like, were you totally awestruck by like how Raiken was working out now?
I creeped on him a few times.
He's got a Snapchat. It was so funny. He pulled a Snapchat on me. I was doing some calf raises, and he snapped my calves. like
snapped.
Zoomed in on him, and oh, it was awesome.
There was some muscle being built there. I think Bonafide would be proud of my calves.
Well, I guess I'll get to see your calves in 5 weeks.
I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
Okay, the show's over. I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Give me back my child. I'll pay you any amount of ransom. Okay. All right, I hear that voice, and now I'm starting to think like, where's my wife? She's probably not at home now. Young took her. Okay, so we got through the rituals. That's cool. Anything particular, like when you go through these towns, Jamison, that you're like, I want to go to. Okay, so now you're done with fast food. Is there anything that you're kind of your guilty pleasure? You're like, okay, like I love a good. What is it? Like if you talk to Warren Buffett about it, he'd be like, I love a good burger and a cola, right? Like a Coke. That just makes him happy. What about you, man?
Hostess apple pies and Pop-Tarts.
Hostess.
Right, Trapper Donuts.
So
donuts.
Okay, but that's like what, once every?
A few times a week.
Okay, so you've cut back significantly, right?
Yeah.
Is it after you buy like a whole bunch of stuff like from a big box store? Like, do you sit there and you go like, I need to do this to earn that? You know what I'm talking about?
I try to do that. I try to eat healthy like 100% of the day. But like usually when I fall off, it's towards the evening. Like I make sure I do not fall off in the beginning, because if I fall off right when I wake up, I'm eating crappy the entire day.
Okay.
So in the evening, if I do fall off, or I make sure I get enough work done, and then I'm rewarding myself.
Okay. How did that smoothie taste that was on Raiken's? Was it Facebook? I saw a picture of a blender that really had no more room for anything else to be put in.
It was amazing. Oh my gosh.
Was it good?
It was, seriously, it was awesome. Like, it was so good.
Well, yeah, you got to take those, anybody can do these kind of things, right, Jamison? Doesn't matter. Yeah. You can start anything. You can start tomorrow. That's the best thing about, life choices is you can make them within the moment and start immediately, right?
Exactly.
Was it light switch with you, or was it progressive?
It was a progressive thing.
Okay. You think you ever go back to the old Jamison?
I hope not. One day at a time towards a healthier Jameson.
Okay, cool.
That's the goal.
Well, maybe your Category 5 Philippi Hurricane is going to be like a 2 one day and not be so crazy and raging out and killing everyone's big boxes. All right, so we're at 9:04 p.m. We're pretty much at the. Let me ask you a couple last questions real quick. If you have a quick question you want to ask, you want me to ask Jamison, hit it up in the feed right now. Raiken, we have. Let's take a look here. 187 people watching. Raiken, what do you do, man?
Well, like I always say, you know, I'm not the best with numbers, but we have 185 people who like this. Only 81 likes. It looks like we got about 100 people just lingering, just taking in all the content, and they're like, you know what? I ain't gonna hit that like button. Oh, you're gonna hit the like button right now. No, I'm just kidding, guys. But yeah, hit the like button, guys. Show some love for sure. You know, we're having a lot of fun talking to you guys about retail arbitrage. You know, Jamison's 100-day trip, and you know, we all took the time to come hang out with you guys. So you know, do us a favor, hit the like button, show some love, and you know, it'll be appreciated for sure.
Yep, and while you're at it, you want something for free, check out the link below. Get our free guide, put it on your phone, especially if you're going garage selling this weekend. You got to have that on your phone. You'll be guaranteed to find something in that guide this weekend that you might have never known about. So
I'm still looking for those boots. It starts with an H. And I've never found a pair of them. It's in there.
So many times.
I've always, every time I see a pair of boots that looks like it, the brand starts with H. You guys always talk about it to sell on eBay. I'm still looking. So get the book. No, you'll know what we're talking about.
They're out there. I actually have a pair listed on eBay as we speak.
Wait, do you really?
Yeah.
Did you steal them from somebody for ransom money?
No, these are special boots, man. They're you have to go on my eBay page and you'll see them.
Meet me at the old tree at midnight by the cemetery. I'll give you your boots back.
I'm Batman.
Good used goods. Yes, this is a remote control tracker right behind me that I need to still process. It was free, okay? It was a free remote control truck intact that was at a garage sale. So that was the best deal of all. You're coming to Austin for the meetup. How was last year's meetup, by the way, Jamison?
It sucked. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. It was so fun. Getting dunked on was the highlight of the trip.
Getting Cody Hawk was the best, though. Getting Cody Hawk, man, because he was not. He's a big guy. Who dunked on Cody, actually?
I don't know.
It was me. I dunked on everyone.
Yeah. Young got Cody, and Cody's like 6'3" or something. He's pretty tall,
dude.
And he was the whole time. He's like, "You ain't gonna get me," the whole time. And then we got him like one of the last days. That was pretty interesting. Jamison, you were one of the first days to get dunked. You were dunked on like a Wednesday or something like early.
I was the first. Yep, I was.
And then we got Nielsen the very next day, and he was like,
"That was a good one."
Yeah, Nielsen was really good too because he was like, "Oh, I knew it was coming. I just didn't know where it was coming from." Anyway,
if you come to Austin, there's two things that are going to happen. You're either going to get dunked on, or there's about a 50% chance you're going to get a fireworks shot at your face by Young.
Check it out, guys.
Yes.
Oh man!
Still has the blood stains.
We need to get a green room sticker, man. You've got to order a sticker for the event, Chris, and you've got to put it on the thing.
You got it, man.
That's funny. I'm not going to say anything.
Consider it done. Okay.
Private label idea, green room basketball.
It's gonna do so well. All right, so that concludes the. This is the thing, guys. We've met Jamison. I met Jamison 2 years ago, so having him on an interview is like not. To us, it's not even a task. It's like fun. We know a friend's coming over to like not only help us out, but like to spill some really good business secrets. So if you're wondering why the show was so much fun today, it's because we've built a really good friendship with Jamison. We respect Jamison. There've been times where Jamison's hit highs and lows, and the green room was there to help him out, and we will always be there for him. So, but thanks for your contribution in the room, Jamison. We really, really, really appreciate it.
No
give some really great information and. People all over the nation are like, when they see Pop-Tarts, they don't think anything other than you now. It's pretty crazy. So I think that is the end of the interview. If you guys have any other remarks or anything, you can still put it into any questions. We'll make sure to get back to you after the fact, okay? So we do answer the questions after the fact. And we'll see you on the next Green Room Hangout on Wednesday, 8 p.m. on my channel next week, right?
Yep, and I do want to say one thing before we go, guys. We are closing the doors for the Green Room event probably within the next couple of days. So if you guys aren't a member and you want to come, consider joining. We do have a monthly option as well. If for $30 you could get in, and you could come to the event, and like Jamison was saying before, he's willing to drop 200 for an eBay event just to network. So definitely consider joining, or at least getting the free book. Go to greenroomuniversity.com, learn more about it. But yeah, thanks guys, appreciate it. We'll be on Bonafide's channel next week. Jamison, thank you. Yang, Bonafide, everybody,
All right,
appreciate it. Description, Jamison's Periscope, YouTube, all that good stuff. And until next time.
Yeah, hit me on MySpace if you want to chat.
What's your AIM? Do you have Instant Messenger?
Yeah. Just make sure you put your ASL on the message.
And that is it. Have a good night, guys.